Everybody, well, oh, the connection is slow tonight, kids. Hi, everybody. Welcome to HorrorBuzz Live, where we are going to be bringing you the latest news and information from the Halloween horror and haunt worlds. We have a very interesting show tonight. Some fabulous guests, an old friend as well, coming to visit and talk to us about the haunt they're involved with, Old Tucson. Nightfall at Old Tucson. But first, what I'm going to be giving you, hopefully the video is going to catch up soon. Lindsay, unfortunately, is not here tonight. She sends her regards. She's recovering from a little throat cold issue thing and some jet lag. Hopefully, tell me when the video is catching up. Give me some clues in the comments. Anyway, so first off, before we even get going, I want to remind everybody, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I didn't say the Twitter, Lindsay, for when you recap. Yeah, the haunts are coming, fast and furious this about now, and just as during the last HorrorBuzz Live, we had just gotten back from Orlando, Universal Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, and then we were getting ready to cover Hollywood. So we've covered Hollywood, and we're going to bring you a little bit of information about that. We're going to be prepping you on what's coming for Knott's, and it's going to be a really, really intense couple of days, because then we're going straight into Castle Dark and Not Scary Farm and Delusion, and it's going to be crazy. So again, though, a reminder, please follow on Facebook and like and subscribe if you can. And eventually the video hopefully will catch up. Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring on our guests, and hopefully their video is better. Let's see here. Oh, Peter says, hey Peter, I hope everything's going well down in San Diego. Let's go. Lisa says, exhausted already. Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm like already halfway dead. So there. But anyway, let's go ahead and bring on my old pal, David Ortiz.
Hi, everybody.
And Michael Thomas Viscar. And
hello.
Let's see here. Hey, okay, Christopher Spencer says, hey there. David is the, oh shoot, I wrote it down and the note is gone. Okay, art and scenic designer.
Yes, art and scenic designer for Nightfall.
For Nightfall. It is a haunt coming to a small park down in Tucson called Old Tucson. And Michael Thomas Viscar is the production manager. Gentlemen, welcome.
Yes, I am.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Norm.
Well, it's honestly my pleasure. Grateful to have you. So can you talk to us, David, about what is this Nightfall at Old Tucson?
Well, it's a haunt. It's a haunt event, similar to all the other haunt events out there. Knott's Berry Farm, which I have experience with, Universal, and so on and so on. It's been around for this is like their 30th anniversary, and that's amazing. I have never heard of it, and I've been in the business for a long time. It's almost like they have their town, and they love it, and it's very popular here. And one of the things we want to do is increase the scope of everybody who knows about it. And that can happen. I mean, I know that Knott's and Universal have California or Florida, but there are places like the Winchester Mansion up in San Jose, which that's popular too. So I think we're trying to make more people aware of it, because we're making some big changes, and we're really excited about it.
Okay, so can you give me basically a breakdown of what Old Tucson is throughout the year, and then kind of what you're bringing to the location for its haunt called Nightfall.
Okay, well, Old Tucson, which I visited as a child, by the way, I'm totally delighted that I'm working on this now. I haven't been back since then, but I never forgot it. And Old Tucson has a huge history. If you think of it as Knott's Berry Farm combined with Universal, because it has that Western, it was all about Westerns, but they filmed movies here, huge movies, lots of movies, like from the past, with John Wayne all the way to, the Three Amigos and Tombstone with Kurt Russell. So that's where the history is.
I'm sorry, did you say Three Amigos?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. And then, and then it became more of an amusement park for a while. And then it had a little tragedy. It had a big fire. And then another one with COVID. It had to shut down. But now it's after COVID, and it has a new lease, a new manager, which is Rail Events. And then Michael can speak to that much better for that. And so it's being reborn in a way. And the first thing they're going to put together is Nightfall.
Excellent. Michael, what is the company that's running Rail Events?
Yeah, so I work for Rail Events Productions, which is a subsidiary of American Heritage Railways, which is it's a larger company that is the one who bought Old Tucson, and then as the entertainment production company, we've been charged with getting everything ready to go for live entertainment, like lights, sound, actors, directors, art and scenic designers, and whatnot.
And question, like David mentioned COVID. Has the park been open since COVID kind of eased up?
No.
Or is this the official return?
This will be the official return. So our opening night is the official return of Old Tucson. And as David mentioned, Nightfall is probably the most the beloved event by the locals out here. And it being the 30th anniversary, we sat down as a company and just thought, well, it's too big of an opportunity to reintroduce the park into the lives of the locals to pass up the 30th anniversary of Nightfall.
Yeah, that's the timing. I mean, it's fortuitous, I guess you would say. So, what would you, David? Can you describe maybe the event and kind of the story and what Nightfall was all about?
Well, again, Nightfall previously was very much like other haunts, and they different mazes, street monsters. Eventually, it became a lot of clowns and things like that, and then chainsaws. But we're changing that, and I'm really excited because it's very cutting edge, in the sense that it's kind of like it's evolutionary. They're taking things that have been done in the industry, and are bringing it all together. For example, pretty much like a haunt, combined with interactive theater, like Legends of Frontierland or Ghost Town Alive, and then also like an escape room, because there are clues and stuff. And the biggest thing is that all of it is interconnected. Even though it stands as a very diverse Halloween event, it's all connected. So even though a maze is different, it is also we're staying very true to the time period, by the way, Western. Therefore, there are no chainsaws. What's really exciting is that, again, they're all interconnected, so you can see a tie-in, again, even though they're all different.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Sorry, just to jump in real quick. So the whole park, right? We've got 5 different maze type haunts. We've got 2 different stunt shows, and we have like 4 Western vaudeville style shows. And then on top of all of that, we have these different story points of interest throughout the park. And so we've populated the town with about 30 actors who all play characters. And you showed pictures of 2 of them. And the whole theme of the event is that there's an election. There's a person who's coming to town, new person wants to be mayor. and the old mayor is status quo mayor. Just keep me as mayor, and everything will be fine. And the audience will actually get a chance to vote in the election. So we're trying to combine this, your typical haunt where people can come and get scared, but we wanted to give them a little more, and give them a way to sort of immerse themselves in the town. And if they want to discover the story, they can explore all of the haunts that all have a connection to one another inside of each of the mazes. They can go to the stunt shows, which are also connected to the overall story, and they can interact with all of the actors on the street to find out more information. There's some secret rooms that people can gain access to if they follow certain points of the story far enough down that path. And some people may even come away with, a little trinket that they're the only person on that night who gets that item.
Oh man, that's amazing. And you actually
having a lot of experience.
Go ahead, please.
Having a lot of experience in haunts, and it's been really fun to connect them together and leave clues. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, with images and things like that.
And you actually have Eric Blair, who's working on the team as well. Can you? He's a good friend of HorrorBuzz, and a brilliant creator. Can you give me an idea of what he's doing?
Yeah, so Eric is our creative director. The only reason he's not here right now is because he's down, in the town in rehearsals with our 30.
He's literally creating. I mean,
yeah.
Right. I work during the day though.
And he, so when I first got the project on my plate, our director of production, his name's Mike May, and we sat down when I visited here. My 4th day of working for this company, they flew me out here. And we were like, what do we want to make? And we sort of came to this. We really want an immersive event that is in the time period. And it was the immersive element that made me think of Eric. I've known Eric for probably 8 years now. And I've done some theater with him. I've directed him in some shows. I was a casting director for one of his shows as well. And I was like, well, he's the guy. If we're making a brand new immersive event, I want to bring him in because his writing abilities and his ability to connect small story points that might mean nothing and make them into something that can really be influential in a story, I think is fantastic. And so, that's sort of how we brought him in, and he's our creative director and performance director and writer, essentially.
Excellent. Yeah, he's an amazing fit for it, and it's going to be cool to see his creative abilities kind of showcased in reviving such a beloved attraction.
How did you know Eric? Or just
how did I know Eric? Well,
in
the immersive theater community in LA, and then I've gone to a number of his shows, and they were just good. On top of the fact that he's just a great guy. So, and really, really cool, and he's a good one. But and which is funny because David, I've known you.
Oh
boy, howdy! I've known you forever. I think I met you. The first time I met you was when you were working at Knott's, and
it was around
you. When was
2009? Was it
2009?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had done. You did the Vegas maze, and then
no,
I think you hadn't.
No, and I think
you brought in. Yeah, that's right. You brought in the Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Now we're showing our age. I swear to God.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it's and of course, David, thank you for wearing a HorrorBuzz shirt. Those are available on the site in the shop, by the way. For a nominal fee. But how creatively, David, how is this different from, say, the large, theme park haunt type thing, and what fun creative challenges did you face?
Well, let's see. I think the biggest one is time. Given some circumstances that were unavoidable, and wanting to get this out as quickly as possible, and do it for the 30th anniversary of Nightfall, and also reopening the park. So the ambition was incredible to get it open with Nightfall, and so we've had less time than is usually necessary for a production. But all of we're not wizards, but we can be magicians.
Yeah.
And so we've done everything we can to gear it towards having a really good show with the time we have, and then can even go further by being creative and pulling rabbits out of a time hat, so to speak. So that's been a challenge, but it's been a lot of fun. So
yeah, we've had about 4 months to do this.
Right, and it usually takes about 8. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and another question, because I'm trying to get an idea of the scope. So you mentioned that there were 5 mazes, there were 2 live shows. How large is Old Tucson anyway?
Well, the property is about it's 300 acres maybe, but our event is happening on about 40 acres. And so it's pretty large. We have a lot of space to cover. We also have a train ride that leads people will get on the train and it will lead them, and that will be its own haunt as well. It's a pretty large amount of space, and there's even more space that we could have used, but in our initial meetings, we were like, no way, there's no way.
Right. There've been conscious decisions made to not overextend what we're already overextending.
Yeah.
But you never even mentioned a haunted train ride. What the heck? Is burying the lead or something? What goes on there?
Well, that's a good question. We have actually 2 different ones. We have one during the daytime that's a little bit more family friendly.
Now
kids.
You're saying there's 2?
Well, it's the same train, but they're 2 different versions of it. So
because of the daylight versus nighttime.
Yeah,
I got you.
Daylight versus nighttime.
Well, that's still cool. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It is cool. So the daylight one is a little bit more family friendly because zombies or whatever are much more scary at nighttime. And so the daytime one just goes around in a circle. But there's some stuff that might happen during the nighttime one that may force you to have to get off the train in the middle of the desert and seek refuge in the church. And so that might be something you have to experience for the event.
Okay, so David, what kind of visual tricks and crazy hijinks are you responsible for with this event? I mean, are there any really cool challenges that you overcame?
Let's see. Well, because mostly because the park was closed and it's a new management. Sometimes there weren't things available like ground plans or such. So I developed those myself, and then there were still some that weren't. But that's been fun. Yeah, well, and it's been a lot of work, but challenging. As far as creativity, well, I mean, I love being creative, and I was always kept in mind the time, and I tried to it's kind of like the Jaws thing, right? The shark's not working, but you still got to keep going. So you think of creative stuff. And right now, at this very moment, I can't think of it particularly because there's been a lot of stuff, and I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
At this point.
Fair.
Yeah. He designed all of our ground plans, and not just ground plans for the empty buildings, which he had to do for 2 of them, but he designed the maze path, many of the elements in the maze with a little bit of influence from Eric and myself. But yeah, he's underselling himself a little bit.
Okay. Well.
He always does that. He's so humble, but he's pretty good. I mean, he's working with you. So cool.
Blessing.
So what are the run dates for Nightfall?
We open on October 6th, and we run Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays until October 30th. So we're open 4 nights a week for about 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
Okay, so no Halloween night thing?
No Halloween night thing. We were up in the air on it, but we're trying to base everything on previous years, and it was tended to be a slow night, and so we were like, let's put all our effort into the other nights, and we'll eat Halloween if we have. We can all go trick or treating,
which is very unusual. But I mean,
yeah.
I think
it was
Tucsonians do other things.
It was a much less family-friendly event than it is now. So we're trying to change that to where the town proper is more family-friendly, so you can bring your kids, and the scares are all out of the town. And so if you want to go get scared, you can do that, but if you want to explore the story, you can bring your kids. Your kids can meet characters in the park, and trying to do a combination of a little more family friendly, but not pulling back on the amount of scares that you're going to get.
So is it like a separate ticket event, or is it just if you buy a general admission ticket into the park, you get to experience it?
Buy a general admission ticket, and everything in the park other than food and beverage and merchandise is included. So
right. Oh well, I mean, you should know. I mean, this is the event that this park is opening with.
Yeah.
So the park is not open yet.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So it's not. It is the event.
Cool.
And then they also have they're gearing up already for their Yuletide at Old Tucson, which is their going to be a new Christmas event.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about
that, David?
It's HorrorBuzz. It's
Are you on that project or no, Dave?
It looks like it. Happen. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so we do have a question.
If I understand correctly, this is the first time that Old Tucson is going to be doing a Christmas event. Is that correct?
They've done some, but this is the first. Nightfall is the branded name, so we're making the Christmas version of Nightfall. Not that it's scary, but we want to have people to have something that they can look forward to as an event for the park. So we want them to see Yuletide. Oh, it's Yuletide season. We want them to have that and know that it's going to be a thing from year to year.
Okay, so we have a question from one of the viewers, Christopher Mark. He's saying, I've been going to Nightfall for maybe 8 years before moving to LA. How has Old Tucson moved Nightfall forward from the past decade?
Yeah, I think, Christopher, some of the things we've been talking about and trying to make it this immersive event where it's essentially a choose your own adventure when you walk in the door. So if you want to go get scared and have drinks with your friend, you can do that. But if you want to explore a story, the mystery of the town, there's going to be characters for you to talk to throughout the night who, if you talk to them long enough or you ask them the right questions, they're going to give you little bits of information that may actually make you interested in going back through one of the mazes and seeing some of the clues that maybe you didn't know were there before, and sort of give you more to do than just get scared, give you something to explore. And also the technology that we're bringing to the park, just on like a basic tech level, lights and sound. We played our park sound system for some of our stunt people and our cast, and I mean they've never heard any sound systems like it, and so I think we're really trying to update not just the event but the park's infrastructure as well. We're investing a lot of time and money into doing that because we know how important Old Tucson is for local Tucsonians.
That's really good to hear.
And the event is, as Michael was saying, so immersive. It's in that way. If you want it, you don't have to have it. It's like I said before, like an escape room, because it's all interconnected, and you can find, gems of this and that. It creates a whole storyline.
Very cool. And also, he says, and he's loving it. He's
Great.
Said, hi guys, and love it. Oh. Very good. Well, thank you for. I mean, like. I wish I could get down there and go see it. He said that's kind of sounds like what Dark Harbor did, which, I mean, it's very similar to,
And I do want to say also you're seeing two faces here. Eric's not here. There's another face, but I mean, all of the team, and there's lots of faces, are just doing an outstanding job.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about Nightfall. And
Thanks for having us.
if you're in the Tucson area, get down there and go see it. And if you can make the trip, get down there. And because this sounds like not only a good event, but the resurrection of a beloved icon and property in Tucson.
Yeah.
So.
And we didn't mention that they're going to be pursuing getting back to being a studio as well as an amusement.
Cool.
Yeah.
Finally, the Three Amigos Part 2 can happen.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. Christopher says he love Tucson. Oh, he's going to be going.
Oh, great.
Bravo.
So, cool. Be sure to say hi to Michael and David while you're down there. And so, gentlemen, I have to recap a few things real quick from some stuff that I saw recently. You mind hanging out real quick?
Oh, I'd love to.
You got it.
Okay, cool. So let me get right to the point here because we actually spent so much time talking about Old Tucson and Nightfall. I'm like, this is great. I mean, okay, but let me break this down really quick. So last time when we were on, I talked to everyone about Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights, which was stellar overall. And this time I can talk to you about Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood, which is this year is easily one of the strongest years I've seen them have. There were no duds in any of the haunted houses. Again, with haunted houses, mazes, there's such an organic nature to it. It's such an immersive and free-flowing and organic form of entertainment that you really need to go through a haunted house 3-4 times to get an idea of whether or not it's actually good. So when you're on a press event, you're running through houses and you get what you get, as far as timing, as far as scares, as far as if the actors are on point, energy level, effects. But the night that I went through, all of the 8 houses, it was amazing. For me, Halloween which is surprising, but Halloween and Killer Clowns just didn't hit for me that night. Killer Clowns and Halloween are kind of almost identical repeat. Well, Killer Clowns is repeats from previous years. This year, though, the standouts for me, and you're going to be shocked. You're going to be completely shocked. But the standouts for me this year were The Weeknd. Can you believe it? I mean, Orlando, it was just in LA. The Weeknd Haunted House was unbelievable and easily a standout, a strange, surreal pop nightmare that was just ridiculous and insane. And it completely blew me away. And Hollywood knocked it out of the park with The Weeknd. Another standout for me was La Llorona. This is a repeat from a few years ago, but this year it got even more crazy and savage, and I loved it. I so loved it. And then again, another huge shocker. Terror Tram was good. It was surprisingly good. Hollywood Harry the Clown has you down onto the back lot. You go walk around, and then they added the new Jordan Peele Nope set to it and brought the Tethered into the scene, and it was just bizarre, crazy chaos that you were walking through. And so not only did they expand it, but they improved it as far as flow, as far as and I'm anxious to see how that happens further along in the run. But I was impressed. I was totally impressed. So well done, John, Chris, well done. So there you go.
And I'm thrilled to hear that they brought back La Llorona. I always like that.
It's so good.
Now, can I assume that it's a little bit like from the movie La Llorona?
No,
It's not? Oh, it's not?
no.
Okay, great.
They actually went back and they went back and revisited their original concept that they did a couple of years ago. Because and I can't remember the years, but they did the original concept house for 2 years, consecutive years.
I think it was 2011, but
was it? Okay,
I could be wrong, but it's around.
yeah, it was, and it was good. And I mean, they totally go there. Like one of the most disturbing moments is when you're walking across a bridge, over some water, and there's these kids face down, like floating in the water. And you're like,
oh, that's awesome.
bleh. But yeah, it gets dark, but it's fun. And then, of course, Terror Tram was great. The weekend completely blew me away. And yeah, and then another thing that I have to share before I go, and we're over time. Damn it! Is SeaWorld's Howl-O-Scream that came back for a second year. SeaWorld San Diego's Howl-O-Scream. The event. Oh, Emperor, that coaster rocked. Okay, the event is something that's been going on in Florida, Tampa, especially Busch Gardens, for a long time. And this year they brought it back, and they vastly improved on what they were doing from previous years. That chick was scary. She was like floating around. Oh, and of course they have a clown maze, and I think they call them houses here. It's the World Howl-O-Scream, but it was honestly, last year was their first year launching it, and they honestly took what they learned from last year, trimmed the fat, leaned in on the scares, and you could really tell that they worked with the actors as well. They spent a fair amount of time training them.
Great.
It was completely evident, and yeah. Oh, Lisa Parra says there's black hats on the Terror Tram though. Yeah, the Black Cat Alley in the Terror Tram. That was fun. That was good.
Was that black hat or black cat?
Black cat.
Oh,
so like when you no, seriously.
Sorry.
What? I didn't hear you.
Just lots of black hats floating around.
Yeah. It's like totally black hat. It's a scary. No, like next to the Psycho House. One of the they built like kind of an alleyway, like with the fencing that we've seen happen before, but it's just this, and of course a bunch of boo boxes with people dressed up like cats, like reaching out and trying to grab you and stuff. It was cool. I liked it. So it was good. But yeah, SeaWorld improved their event dramatically, and good job on them. I still got to get that review out, and Universal just killed it. So hopefully, and I'm sure that you guys will, Nightfall at Old Tucson will completely slay this year as well. So
we hope so, and hopefully next year you can make it out here.
I want to so bad. I do. But, LA and juggling. And, okay, well, gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for coming on, talking about Nightfall at Old Tucson. Thank you for resurrecting a beloved park. And, everybody get out there if you can. And anything else, gentlemen?
No.
Thank
you very much. Yeah.
Not a problem. Please keep us posted on everything. Oh, shoot. Don't forget, buy tickets to our Passport to Fear event, Castle Dark. Go to the shop. They're on sale right now. Also, Bones Gulch is on sale. That's happening in Castaic. And of course, that's a big VIP night with all kinds of fun, crazy stuff to do. Front of the line access. We get to meet the creators. Also, don't forget, Halloween 3 is coming up on October 28th, and that will sell out. So just grab your tickets now. Go to thefridacinema.com, and we're screening Halloween 3, and it's going to be great. And cosplay, drinks, trivia, crazy pre-show. What else could you want? So anyway, Recapping, gentlemen, thank you again for coming on. And if that's all that we got, then I will see you guys in the fog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
See you soon.